we just finished in French, and now we do the same things in English. We answer your question. Alors, first one.
Is it allowed to eat legumes? What are the allowed legumes? Thank you so much. What do you mean by allowed? If we're talking about cancer, no, legumes will take you out of keto. It's not one of the things that you can eat. Definitely, legumes are have pretty much the same effects as grains in your body. So as far as cancer fighting and being in ketosis, it's not a good idea.
You need to eat cruciferous.
Yes, greens are your best bet.
Yes. I don't understand the question, Fred. You understand perhaps?
What is the best filter to purify tap water? I just use a regular filter that I bought on the internet.
And I use spring water. I don't need to purify spring water.
Yeah, spring water is your best bet as far as respecting the acid alkaline balance in your body. Spring water is what we were designed to drink, so it's your best bet. Make sure it's not in a terrible plastic container, and you're good to go. Okay, Dr. Robert Moss protocol when dealing with cancer is all fruits, berries, melons diet versus Eric Berg ketogenic diet. Any thoughts? Well, yeah, for us, it's very clear that we've decided from the very beginning when we learned that we were sick, that we were going on a ketogenic diet, no sugar, which means also no fruits, because we know now that cancer feeds on glucose. So we don't know for a fact if fruits are bad for you when you have cancer. Like I said before in the French version, what you see when you isolate a compound such as fructose under a microscope and what happens in your body when you eat the whole fruit, especially if it's organic, is very, very different. Nevertheless, Guy and I, we didn't want to take any risk and we didn't have any sugar at all. And we went on a ketogenic diet, strict ketogenic diet, and it worked for us. Now, it is possible that people can heal with a very clean, all fruit, all raw, all organic diet, but we haven't met any of those people yet.
I tried to contact survivors from Robert Morse protocol, and I had 0 answers. So I prefer
maybe they don't
our protocol.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to
maybe
do a testimonial, or maybe they're dead. We don't know.
Perhaps they have no survivors.
I finished chemo and immunotherapy. Go BC and OC. I want to try your fasting and eating regimen. Can I cope with full-time work and daily activities when fasting? Well, it depends. Everybody's different. For me, when I did my 21-day fast, I was completely off. I was sleeping all day. I had no energy. It was really hard. And I'm glad I didn't have to go to work. But after that, when I felt a little better, whether I did a long fast or a short fast or intermittent fasting, I have no problem going to the gym, working, teaching my martial art classes. I can do anything I want. So it really depends how strong or weak your body is at the moment of the fast. Guy, what do you think? Did you have a normal activity during your fast?
It depends. I'm not like you. I don't have a lot of activities, first of all. But to watch TV, it was not very difficult. Try this filter. Okay.
That's the name of a filter that this person can research. Thank you. Hi, Guy and Fred. I would love you. I would love to know how you fasted for 21 days and did not get sick or hungry or fainted. Well, when you fast, you don't get sick. That's the point. You get better. Were you hungry? Yeah, of course. Did you faint? No, because we didn't wait until we were that weak. I mean, when I was feeling weak or tired, I just lie down. So I didn't really faint technically. But yes, I lied around a lot. And like I just said before, that's when my cancer was at its worst. So I was tired because of the cancer and because of the fast. But after that, now when I fast long term or short term or intermittent fasting, I can do anything I want and I have no problem.
And I think there are a big difference between be angry and have need to eat something.
Yeah.
It's a lot of difference. I don't know if I explain me.
Do you want to eat or do you need to eat? It's not the same
Voila.
thing. Yeah.
This is a big difference. We like to eat, so we want to eat, but we don't need to eat after 3 days because our brain say our belly, you don't need to eat.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you drink anything? Yes, water, of course. And Guy had his magic potion.
Green tea.
Yeah, which is
magic
made of
potion.
Yeah, mostly green tea and turmeric and few other things. And I had a little bit of reed grass juice once in a while, but mostly water.
Today I'm fasting 24 hours. Till now I have one kidney, so one fasting I can take alpha lipoic acid and garcinia and black seed oil and on empty stomach. And where is the question?
I think he's asking if he can take the metabolic protocol when he's fasting, and the answer is yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
So, did you know the status of your cancers? RE, MSI, MSS, MR, proficient or deficient? In other words, were they susceptible to immunotherapy? Me, I don't know.
Me too.
Many people ask me a lot of technical questions about my cancer, and my answer is I didn't care. First, when the doctor told me all the details, the very first time I was diagnosed, my brain was somewhere else. My brain was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And the guy kept telling me, you have a XYZ cancer with an XYZ gene mutation. And I didn't hear anything. And after that, when I did my research and I've decided to try to heal as naturally as I could and to bet on my immune system and not on chemical drugs, it didn't matter anymore what kind of cancer, why, where, what kind of mutation. Honestly, I didn't care. I understand that some people do and want to know all the details, but it wasn't my case. So I had cancer, colon cancer, stage 3. They told me after all the tests that it was genetic. That's all I know. And I knew, okay, I have cancer, boom, fasting, ketogenic diet, breathing, meditation, stress management. That's all I knew. So health is the part that I was interested in, not the disease. I didn't want to focus on the cancer. I want to focus on improving my health and giving my body everything that it needed.
I will verify this, but it's perhaps because we changed the price. We put only $2.99. So perhaps it takes time to be online again. I really don't know. I will check.
And for me, yes, of course, all the details, all my protocols, all my story are in my book. When will your joint book be released? Very soon. So for those who don't know, Guy and I are working on a synthesis of our 2 books, and we're writing a book together. There's going to be a lot of the story that you already know, but we're going to compare them. And why did we do this? Why did we do that? Why did it work, even though we didn't do the exact same thing? And plus, the book is going to be enriched with a lot of new studies and the Scott study report, all that stuff. So I think it's going to be really, really cool and really interesting. And as for when it's going to be released, both the French and English version should be on Amazon my guess is in less than a month. So it's going to be pretty fast now. We're almost done. We just need to have it professionally proofread, and we'll be ready to go.
Absolutely. And I asked Professor to do our forward, and my friend Fred asked Evrard Berg to do the forward on the English version.
Yeah. So Fred, when fasting, did you take any of your supplements? No, but I wish I did.
Do I have to mix an apple cider? It depends. It depends. You have to test your pH, and if you have a very low pH, you don't have to take. You have to take it, and if you have high pH, don't take it.
Okay, next question. I ask about microsatellite inability and mismatch repair deficient is because I wonder whether arginine, I don't know how you say that, acts differently with and without the blood. I have no idea.
We cannot answer this type
the question is, it's a mix of Chinese and Russian for me. Is chemotherapy pill have the same bad effect as the normal one? Maybe a little less aggressive on your blood system because it doesn't go through the vein, so therefore it won't burn the vein, so to speak. But yeah, the side effects are pretty much the same with all chemo. And again, we're not saying you should not do chemo. Okay, it's really a personal decision with your doctor. Some cases you really need to do it. I felt that I needed to do a little bit of it, and I did. Guy didn't, so it's a personal decision. All we can say is it is toxic. It is cytotoxic, so it is toxic. It is toxic for the very cells. Now we're not saying that you should not take it or that we should take it. Again, it's a personal decision.
And we disclose in each video below the video all this. We are not against your oncolog. You have to follow the strategy if you want your oncolog choose for you. Yeah. If you like your oncolog, of course. If you don't, change your oncolog.
The reason for us doing what we do is to tell you that it's possible to follow a different path and for you to do your own research. It's not to copy us. It's not because we think we have the only truth, but this is what we did. It worked. Maybe it could work for you. So make your own research. You have to educate yourself when you have cancer. There's no other way around. You can't put all your survival in the hand of a doctor that you don't know and who doesn't know you. You can put some of your chances in his hands, but you have to take responsibility and make your own research. It's super important. How do we treat anemia without deviating from the protocol? Thank you. If you had anemia before fasting and the cancer and the keto and stuff like that, then you have to decide if this protocol is good for you. If you didn't and you're just afraid to get anemia when you fast, then don't be. Your liver has a little bit of reserve of all the minerals and vitamins that it needs for several days.
7 days.
And once in a while, like Guy said many times before, if you feel bad or if you feel you're depraving your body of something, have half an avocado, half a little bit of celery, have a little bit of raw vegetable, just enough. So you get a kick out of it. You get some vitamins, some minerals, some trace minerals, but you don't break your autophagy.
They are very lucky.
Yeah, there's so many. Cancer is multifactorial. There's so many different factors when you get cancer. But basically, today, cancer is the second cause of death around the world and the scientific research suggests that 1 people out of 3 will die of cancer. So there's not a lot of people who will never get cancer anymore. It was the case before, and we have many 70, 80, 90 years old people now who never had cancer before, but they lived in an era that was different, with less stress, less pollution, better food, better drinks. So it's very different. It's not because your grandfather or great-grandfather smoked and had wine every day and never had cancer that you can live the same life. So the things are completely different today, and we live in a pro-cancer society. We have to accept it, and we have to do whatever we can to fight that.
Fred,
when will you do another interview of survivors in English? Here we are. What are we doing now? In English, it's not really an interview, but hey, we're trying our best to do it in English. And
but we are searching other survivors to do videos with them. And if you know some survivors, please send us the coordinates, the address, the name. Like this, we can do it. And we want to do it. We need to do it. When I sent my friend Fred to somebody's calling me always. When I sent Fred to Eric Berg, they made together an interview, and this interview had now 1 million views, more than 1 million views. So it's fantastic, and we need other. I spoke with Eric, and he told me what it will be so nice if we can have each week a survivor interview.
Yeah. So, yeah, for those who haven't seen the interview, you go on my YouTube channel, Fred Evrard, and you will see the interview is one of the first video you'll find. And then it's, of course, all in English.
Absolutely. Not
do you guys
me,
do any green
Fred,
juicing?
yes.
Yes, I do. I've been doing green juicing, fresh juice, every day since the moment I knew I had cancer, or almost, and still doing it now. Absolutely. Simply because I can't take the fibers, the insoluble fibers of the vegetables with my my intestines, which are still a little fragile.
Absolutely. Each cancer can be different, and each way to heal is different too.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, how to get enough calcium after staying away from dairy products. Thank you very much. Well, first, there is calcium in every single green. You don't need dairy products to get calcium. Look at the cows. They don't eat dairies, and they are full of calcium. So your calcium will be mostly in your greens. But if you want to eat dairy product, like we said many times, they have to be top quality. They have to be organic. They have to be made from raw milk, and certainly not pasteurized milk. And most likely, if you can find some, they have to be French cheese, because hey, they're the best.
No, it's because they are a lot too much hormone de croissance. Comment tu dis ça?
Growth hormone.
Growth hormone in cow milk. So avoid it. Because growth hormone make your cancer bigger, of course.
The 5 essentials.
Yes. On our books and on all the video we did, we speak always about that.
When I do fasting, I face fainting and blood pressure go very down, and I feel a lot of weakness. So what do you suggest? Well, try to go in a ketogenic diet a week before your fast. If you feel weak and you're fainting, it's not normal. It's not supposed to happen when you fast. Fasting is a state where you're supposed to have a lot of energy and to be very focused and very aware. And I'll explain why in a minute. But if you are not fat adapted, and if you eat a lot of carbs, or you are still running on carb as a fuel, even if you don't eat a lot, when you go into fasting mode, your body doesn't know, or not yet, how to use fat and its own fat as a fuel, and then you have zero fuel suddenly, and of course you're tired. But if you go on a ketogenic diet a few days before your fast, you will become fat adapted, and then the fast will be much easier, and you'll have much more energy. Now, as far as fasting, imagine our ancestor. Imagine a caveman from the Paleolithic era. The guy is a hunter-gatherer. It's the winter, so there's nothing to gather, and he didn't manage to catch a prey for 3 days. He went hunting, didn't catch anything. It's very possible. Do you think his energy is going to get higher and his focus is going to get better, so the next day he can catch something and eat? He's going to get lethargic and tired, and as the day passes, he's not going to be able to hunt anymore, and he's going to die. Which one do you think is more logical? Of course, when you fast, the body gives you extra energy to go and find some food. If not, we would not be here as a species. So it's very important to understand that when you're fasting, your body wants you to have the energy and go hunt and go find food. So it's going to give you extra energy and not less. If you have less energy, it's for 1 or 2 days, maybe 3. But after that, the fat burning mode and extra energy should kick in, and you should be very aware, very focused, stronger, faster, better in any way, because you need to find food. So if after 2 days of not succeeding at finding food, our energy would go down, we human wouldn't be here.
And if you need to go faster, you take MCT oil. So we will be a lot easier way. It's an easier way to be fat adapted. Adapted.
Yes. Do you ever cheat or eat pizza? Of course. So when we were sick,
never.
Not one cheat day. For me, it was 4 months, a 4 months battle. Not one single cheat day in 4 months. And Guy, it was a little bit longer because you had a worse cancer than mine, and you were super strict. Now that we're healed and completely cancer-free, once in a while, we have a cheat day. I used to believe
it's not because we want it, it's because we have no choice. We are dying to eat a pizza.
Yeah, and personally, I'm a big pizza guy, so once in a while, and when I say once in a while, maybe once a month, I'll have a pizza or rice or potatoes or something like that. I have a cheat day once a week, but it stays keto. So maybe I have a little bit more fruit, I have a little bit bigger piece of meat, and I make a little sauce with it, but I wouldn't have any grains or anything like that. I wouldn't have any dessert once a week, no. But once a month, yeah, I eat whatever I want.
We have hundreds of email each day. So it's almost impossible to answer to everybody. You know my email, survivefromcancer.com, survivefromcancer@gmail.com, but I'm not sure I will answer because I have too much question, and it's the same for Fred. So read our book, because we put everything inside. And if you want to ask questions, you go. We will continue to do this type of videos of StreamYard, and you can ask us the question you want.
Yeah, same thing for me. I used to answer every question, and I do my best, but it's really hard. After the video with Dr. Berg, when we hit more than 1 million views, I mean, how do I answer that? And out of the 1 million views, there were 5,000 or 6,000 posts and questions underneath the video, plus private messages, plus emails every day, and I could just not do it. So yeah, like Guy said, read the books. It's not because we want to do some selling. It's because everything we did, everything we went through are in there. That's why we wrote them, not to become millionaires. And watch the videos. You all know Guy's channel. My YouTube channel is Fred Evrard, just my name, and you'll find us. And we try to share as much as possible in those videos.
Yes. To continue on this topic, I have 1,900 videos on my French channel. Imagine only one question for each video each day. How can I answer? It's impossible.
Yeah, it's really hard. Next question. I'm fighting a cancer too, stage 3 colorectal cancer, finished radiation, about to start chemo in 2 months. In 2 months, I fasted on and off, gone no garbage vegan, and lost 45 pounds and increased stress, etc. at the gym. Okay, so what's the question? I don't think there is.
But it's nice you did that, because if you continue like you did, you will succeed as Fred succeed.
Yeah. And when you said you lost 45 pounds, did you need to lose those 45 pounds, or did you end up as a skeleton because you didn't need to lose 45 pounds? That's the most important things in this comment. But since you increased strength at the gym, my guess is you needed to lose the 45 pounds and you now feel better. So congratulations. If I'm on a chemotherapy pill, what do I do to limit side effects? Very simple, you fast. Do you take your pills every day? I don't know how it works. I've never took chemotherapy pills. I don't know if it's every day, if it's a few times a week. I have no idea. But basically, if it's every day, you do intermittent fasting for sure. And if it's 1 or 3 or 4 days, I don't know, a month, a week, I have no idea, then you fast the day before, the day during, and the day after.
But please, like I did, go online and check the name of the chemotherapy, because I realize that oncologists don't tell sometimes the truth. And when you have palliative chemotherapy, avoid it, because palliative seems explain that you will die. So it's very important to know if it's a healing chemotherapy or a palliative chemotherapy. When I realized for me that what they gave me was palliative with a maximum life of 23 months, I stopped immediately. It was 1 month after, or 2 months after, when I realized that, and I stopped, of course.
So for those who don't know, you have basically 2 kinds, and it's oversimplified, of course, of chemotherapy. The one that potentially could heal you or help you, and again, it's not 100%, but this category of healing chemotherapy, and you have palliative chemotherapy, which is just here to help you die without too much pain. Basically, that's what it is. And since we believe that the body can always heal and the body can always regenerate, and again, we're not doctors, we're not biologists, this is just our opinion. I'm not forcing it on everyone, and I'm not saying this is a scientific truth. I'm just saying this is what we believe, that the body put in the proper environment and conditions can always heal and always be cured. So since we believe that, we would never take palliative chemotherapy. So basically, the doctor tells you, you have 3 months to live. There's nothing we can do. Here, take that chemo, take that medicine, and you're gonna go, softly without too much pain, and it's just gonna help you go smoothly. And we don't want to go. So
absolutely not.
I have no idea. Do you know anything about that, Guy? No, you have to ask your doctor.
You have to ask your oncologist. He has to read our publication. It's on the oncologic Japanese journal. It's normal for a samurai to put this in the Japanese journal. But ask your oncologist to read our discoveries, and like this, he will help you. Yes, we are studying that. We don't know. It's, comment on dit, vermifuge en anglais.
No idea.
It's to kill a worm in our body. I did with a guy à fond noir, fond noir, microscope à fond noir. Okay, it doesn't matter. We have in our blood some worm, and this worm need to disappear. So some people said that if we take this type of pills, it's for dogs, we will feel better. We don't know yet, but the study are in process to know.
I could lose another 80 pounds and still weight more than I did in my 30s. Oh, okay, that's the person from before. Okay, so you feel much better with the minus 45 pounds. Great, congratulations. Can you explain in details about keto paradox and which essential supplement can resolve this problem? Yeah, so the keto paradox, it's very simple. When you first go into a ketogenic diet, if you have cancer, you stop almost all source of glucose, all source of sugar. So the cancer cannot feed itself. But after a little bit of it, after weeks or months, we don't know, cancer find a way for another alternative energy source. And is going to start to use ketones, which until now we thought was impossible. And the keto paradox is that a ketogenic diet for cancer works until a certain point where it stops working. And what you can take is an omega-3 fatty acid called DHA, and that will help to solve the problem.
Yes, it's because in this case, when you take DHA, EPA, the ketones cannot go inside the cancer cells. So the cancer cannot do its membranes, and it's you have only the good part of the ketogenic diet.
Do you have any advice for lung cancer patient doing keto metabolic therapy who is always kicked out of ketosis? He's following all the guidelines almost perfectly well. So if he's doing fasting and a ketogenic diet, I don't understand how he can be kicked out of ketosis.
Because he eats something he doesn't need to eat. It's the only way.
If you don't break the ketogenic diet and you don't have any carbs, your chances of getting kicked out of ketosis, as far as we know, is almost zero. Maybe there's some parameter in this equation that we don't know. It's very hard to answer. Maybe that person should talk to a keto doctor or a keto nutritionist.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you know anything about the microbiome and immune cells regeneration after chemo? I'm about to start oxaliplatin.
We cannot answer this type of question. Only
it's a medical question. You have to check with your doctor. But outside of that question, when you are sick with cancer and you've done some chemo and you want to rebuild your immune system and especially your gut microbiome, you have to eat food that is rich in pre and probiotics. And one of the things that is the best for those is sauerkraut and any kind of lacto-fermented food. Very, very good for your microbiome.
Absolutely.
How did you get your oncologist on board with your holistic decision? Well, I didn't give him a choice. It's my decision. And I've heard a lot of people who were not as lucky as we were, and where the oncologist refused to follow them and to keep helping them if they didn't go his way. And that's the worst possible scenario, and just run away and change, go to another hospital, go see another oncologist. But yeah, I didn't give really my choice, and I was lucky enough that at some point he said, okay, do what you want, and I will keep following you. I will keep having you blood tested every month, and MRI every 3 months, and he did. So I guess we're just lucky. Find the right oncologist.
Oncologists are not gods. You have to choose what you want to do, not your oncologist. You have to learn, you have to find your own way to heal your cancer.
Yeah, make your own research, educate yourself. It's super important.
Of course. Who said that? Not me.
Yeah, I've never read that in any of the scientific literature that I've read. It doesn't mean we're right. We don't know, but I've never read anything like that.
Cancer cannot feed on fat. Cancer feeds on glucose and glutamine. Doesn't matter. I like
do it like everybody
krill.
else.
Yes, I like krill. I like. We already spoke about that. L'huile de foie de morue.
Cod liver oil
Cod
is very
liver,
good for you. Salmon
yes,
is very
cod
good.
liver.
Salmon oil.
Absolutely, but they are big. They are not a big difference between all this, but they say normally one of the best is the krill, the small crevette.
Yeah, small shrimps. One of the things that I'm very careful with when I use fish oil as omega-3 is to make sure the fish are wild caught. That's the only thing.
Absolutely.
What is your diet exactly in one day? Fred, do you eat meat, chicken, and fish? Yes. So again, everything is explained in our book, but we can go through it very quick. When I was sick, I mostly eat vegetable juice, good fat, olive oil, avocado, and ribeye steaks. So very fatty steaks. That with a lot of fresh garlic, and that was my meal every single day for 4 months. Now that I'm healed, I have a little bit more variety as far as meat. So I eat mostly beef because it's richer in micronutrients than, for example, chicken. Chicken is basically, from a nutritional point of view, chicken is basically useless. There's nothing in it, but I like it. So once in a while I have chicken. I have wild caught fish, of course, especially salmon that I like. Eggs. I like eggs, organic, free range. I have mutton once in a while. I have, I don't know, yeah, any kind of protein. A lot of raw vegetable that I juice. Always seasonal. I try to always eat the veggies from the season, except broccoli and broccoli sprouts that I have year round. And that's about it. And now we're in the summer here in South Carolina, and I have a little bit of fruits, but only because I'm cancer free. I wouldn't have fruit if I still had cancer, but now that I'm cured, once in a while, and only in the summer, I have some watermelon, some peaches, some nectarines, all the delicious fruits from the summer, but I be careful not to eat too many.
And I eat sardine and small fish. and the rest like Fred.
Except that you don't juice your vegetables, you eat them raw or
Absolutely.
in a salad.
Of course.
Yes, especially the DHA, very important when you fast. It's very anti-cancer, according to the last conversation that you had with Professor Maurice Evrard Guy.
Yes. And the krill oil could be an alternative to omega-3. Krill oil is omega-3.
About the keto paradox, does the krill oil could be an alternative to omega-3? Okay, so you just answered that. All right.
Yes.
Good. Sauerkraut and cabbage
Yes.
are very good for you.
It's and cabbage, a lot of cabbage, raw cabbage.
Have you done enemas during long fast? Me, yes, because I had a colon cancer, so it was very important for me to make sure my colon was as clean as possible and to make sure I was not constipated or anything. So I did enema once a week when I was the whole time when I was healing. So not only when I was fasting, but for 4 months, and I still do once in a while.
Scott is only 1 tea, and you have all this in our videos and our book. We cannot spend 1 hour to try to explain that.
It's going to be very long to go through all that again, but we talk about it in our books. We talk about it in all our free videos over and over. So you'll find everything about that very easily on YouTube or on Amazon.
That's why you have 5 essential, because you need SCOT inhibitors upstream and downstream. So again, read our book or watch our videos.
Amazon. You go on Amazon.com and you'll have the English versions of our books, the 2 of us. And if you want them in French, you go on Amazon France and you'll have the French version.
Absolutely.
We don't know who you are. What would be your advice for me?
The advice: stop eating shit and eat like Fred and me today.
Yeah, we don't know what exactly the question is regarding, but whatever you have, whether you have cancer, whether you have weight to lose, whether you have diabetes, whether you have any kind of metabolic disease, eating better and fasting, or at least intermittent fasting, will always be an advantage. There's no question. Mr. Fred, how many times you took ice bath during your healing? Every day. So I put my shower on the coldest possible every day, and I went for freezing waterfall swimming usually 2 to 3 times a week. When I mean cold, like 27 Fahrenheit, I think.
My book is My Battle Against Cancer, Survival Protocol.
And mine is, this one is the one on cancer. It's called How My Immune System Beat Cancer. And this one is on the ketogenic diet. It goes a little deeper on the ketogenic diet, and it's called Eat Fat to Lose Fat, the French Paradox. So you'll find us on Amazon very easily. And with that, not only you'll have a lot of information, but you'll also support us, because we try to do everything we do for free. We never sold any of our information to any lab or anything to make money. Everything is for the sick people. We want to help as many people as possible. And the only payment we have, so to speak, is $20 for the books. That's it. Everything else goes to research. Every donation, everything, we don't make any money for ourselves. So it's a great way to support us, and thank you very much.
And all the money I get, you know that I made 2 non-profit association, Survive from Cancer. It's a Florida non-profit association, and in France it's called Loi 1901, and it's Survivre au Cancer. And both, all the money for my book, for what I get, is for the research. I have no 1 penny for me. And yes, my book for the moment in English is only in Kindle form, but as soon as possible, we will have it on paper too.
Good.
Okay, no more question. I will go to see my wife. She's impatient to do something with me because
We don't
I'm
want to know.
always working. No, not these types of things, please.
Oh, the French, always the French.
One question. Your book on Amazon, new book with friend come out. Yes, we already
So yes,
told you.
Guy and
In
I
1 month.
are writing a book together where we're gonna combine our stories and combine our experiences to try to answer your question better. And this book, both in French and English, will be available within 3 weeks to a month on Amazon.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fred,
Thank
for
you,
your
guys.
help, because you are very helpful, because my English is so bad, and it will be very difficult for me to explain the way you did. And I hope we will do a lot of video to help people.
My pleasure. And yes,
Perhaps
definitely,
each week.
let's do more.
Why not?
Why not? But hey, remember, you're retired. I'm not. So what about once a month to start with?
Okay, once a month. We have a deal.
Okay, deal. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Guy.